This is Part D of Chapter 9, Waste Management, covering the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act. The Hazardous and Solid Waste Amendment was established by Congress to address concerns about inadequate controls for hazardous waste management that would increase risks to health and the environment. The HSWA introduced 3 changes. It restricted land disposal use for untreated hazardous waste. It prevented hazardous waste from migrating into the groundwater. And it requires corrective action for hazardous waste releases at any facility seeking a RCRA permit. It also established monitoring post-closure for 30 years. The Resource Conservation and Recovery Act provided for the EPA and states to serve as the regulating agencies. The EPA then developed ways to implement RCRA. RCRA applies to operations that generate, transport, treat, store, or dispose of waste. It regulates operations that store hazardous materials in underground storage tanks and that produce, burn, distribute, or market hazardous waste-derived fuels. Subtitle C, Section 3006, authorized states to develop their own hazardous waste programs. To be granted this authority, the states had to develop a permitting system, a manifest system, they had to have the administrative resources to manage these systems, and they had to establish enforcement authorities. The RCRA enforcement goals ensure that regulatory and statutory provisions are met and compel necessary corrective action. This is through compliance orders and the establishment of liability. Noncompliance with RCRA can result in administrative actions that suspend or revoke the RCRA permit, civil actions with a penalty of up to $25,000 for each day of violation, and criminal lawsuits where penalties range from $50,000 to $250,000 per day of violation and prison terms from 2 to 15 years. Subtitle D of the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act encourages technical standards for solid waste disposal facilities. States' solid waste management programs are voluntary and include written plans. They require EPA approval, and they provide opportunities for federal technical and financial aid. Please watch this EPA toxic waste cleanup video to get an idea of how bioremediation can be used where bacteria will clean up toxic waste.